Mattias Maccelli gets the first shot on the Maple Leafs top line as Easton Cowan tries to make an impression. Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the Leafs. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun Maple Leafs writers Terry Koshan and Lance Hornby. And guys, the Maple Leafs kicking off the home portion of their preseason schedule, a 3-2 loss to Ottawa. But of course, none of that matters. Everybody wants to see some of the new guys, and Mattias Maccelli is one we saw get the first shot on that top line alongside Austin Matthews and Matthew Nyes Lance. Picked up a couple of assists. How do you think he has looked so far at camp?
Well, you know what? The man has a opportunity of a lifetime here, coming from a partial scratch with his former team, to having a good chance. I think here to break right in. Who wouldn't want to have a stop in Toronto with two great wingers such as or two great forwards such as Nyes and Matthews? I was impressed. I mean, he certainly got the speed. You look at that number and look at his size, and think a little bit of Brad Marchand. He doesn't really have that kind of fire in him, but certainly he can help this team. And I like the way he moved around. It's going to take a long, a long period to get used to Mitch Marner not being there, but steps in, especially at worst too, if he can fill in and chip in an assist like he did on the second power play unit. That's going to be good for him as well. Again, a guy who's in the acid test will come. As you said, when Domi comes back, and also looking way down the road to what this guy can do in playoffs. He's never been in one before at the NHL level anyway. So good start, but lots to get through. First exhibition season, and then seeing how these lines play themselves out in October and November.
Yeah, for me, Machelli's got a lot of work to do before I can even say the word playoffs. I mean, as he said last night, he hadn't played in 6 months. March 24th is the last time he played on a Utah team that wasn't going to the playoffs. He was a healthy scratch a lot. Now you're looking at him saying, okay, bring some of that offensive skill that we do know you have to that line and make it work. It's going to take some time. And, he's there right now because Max Domi is hurt to start camp, back on the ice over the weekend. But, I'm not sure how long this opportunity lasts for Machelli, but he just has to get comfortable with the Leafs. I think at this point, they'd probably tell you they don't really care where it is. This guy has to show, with the Leafs what he did 2 years ago and 3 years ago with Arizona. Because it didn't happen last year in Utah. And, it's a bit of a flyer for the Leafs, but there's no doubt he's nifty. He's got some of that skill in him, like Lance said, that, could really complement Matthews and Nyes. But, Berube said the other day, there's going to be the missing for Matthews of the give and goes that he had with Marner and that chemistry. Defensively, there's no comparison, right? I mean, Marner was off in his own island that way and just so good at it. So we'll see what happens with Machelli. You don't want to be down on the guy, but he's got a lot to prove. And one preseason game certainly isn't going to come close to it. I would think that, it's going to take some time here for him to really get going. If he does, we'll see. There's no guarantee that that'll happen.
Absolutely.
How quickly Addy blocked a shot last night. I think it was a giveaway or two, but again, one game is a very, very small sample size. But good to see that this experiment is finally underway, and that the Leafs aren't forced to do this in make or break circumstances. They got a long time to figure this out.
Meanwhile, Terry, there was a familiar face at camp that's hoping to crack the roster in Easton Cowan. There's obviously a ton of excitement around this guy, but he's still so inexperienced at the pro level. Has he done anything so far in your mind to make you think he might even have a shot at being on the opening night roster?
Well, yeah, he's had 2 good games, and I think he's been responsible. And I think the key thing last night, Berube was talking about after the game, was he listens, and he's taking what they're saying and applying it. So coachable, right? It's a term we always hear with players. And if you are, that means you're, adhering to what the coaching staff wants. Cowan, like a lot of these forwards who have been so good coming out of junior, just got to keep things a little simpler in the NHL and keep your wits about you. And I think he's done that. Whether he makes it, I don't know. I mean, I still think he starts with the Marlies, but having said that, if he has a few more games like this, maybe scores a couple, we'll have to see. Working against him, if you want to put it that way, is obviously he's waiver exempt, right? To go down to the Marlies. So people like David Kempf and Kelly Yarncroke are not. It wouldn't be great for the Leafs to decide, okay, Easton Cowan has done enough to make this team, then figure 9 or 10 games in, he's not ready for it, and you've lost one of those 2 wily veterans whether they're in your plans or not, to start on waivers. So I don't think they want to go down that road. The safe play is to start him with the Marlies. It's more than being safe. It's just let him develop and really simmer down there in the American Hockey League. But he's getting a good run here. He's getting pumped up by the coach, and really, what he's done in the first 2 games is all you can ask for. But I'll have to see where it goes. But he's going to be here a full-time Leaf sometime, and it's not too far off in the future.
I'd say this kid can't have a good camp. He has to have a great camp if he's going to stick to Terry's point to avoid the Marlies. And the big question is with any kid that age, again alluded to by both of you, that what's better for him, to be full time in the Marlies and getting power play, penalty killing, all the running the whole gamut, versus spotty ice time and maybe not playing a lot. I got to think that the Leafs have enough of an investment in this kid that they're going to do the latter and let him develop. There are certainly some veterans here that could fill that role. But you know what? People are, they're, again, we go back to the loss of Marner. People are looking for a young, dynamic guy to step up. The Leafs, to a large degree, traded away a lot of those guys. To have another guy who can step right in is going to be huge for them right now. And maybe the ideal fit is for him. I think last night he was on the line with Lawton and Lawrence. Maybe that's a good spot for him, a scorer who can go in there. He certainly is going to get a degree of protection if he's on a line like that, which is going to be huge for him as well. But you know what? And it looks like they're going to play him in as many games as possible and really get a good feel for this guy before they have to make that decision in early October.
Well, they should get another shot coming up on Thursday night when the Maple Leafs head to Montreal for their next preseason action. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. For Lance Hornby and Terry Koshan, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.